Happy New Year and welcome to 2025. 2024 was an interesting year for entertainment. There was the good, there was the great, and there was the supremely disappointing. I'm looking at you, Gladiator 2. 2024 may have had a massive quantity of films produced all around the globe, but a lot of it just wasn't that great. Well, as a storyteller, filmmaker, and general content buff, I tend to consume quite a lot of content every month, even though I'm more partial to TV series. As the year has ended and we've started the new one, I would like to share the top 9 movies that I watched and believe delivered an amazing storytelling experience in 2024. Please note that there are a lot of films that I didn't and I still haven't watched. So this list is not exhaustive. It's based strictly on what I was able to watch. Let's jump straight into it. Starting off at number 9, we have Civil War is an interesting film that tackles the possibility of the greatest nation on earth going to war with itself. The film takes place in some kind of alternate future where the United States faces a new civil war after California and Texas attempt to break away based on their rejection of a dictator president and his government. The president has disbanded the FBI, he has used military force against American citizens, and has refused to give up his executive power by disavowing the system of checks and balances that the United States has been built on. What sets this movie apart for me isn't the grand scale of the major conflict, but how Garland explores war through the eyes of a photojournalist, focusing more on the human experience rather than the political debate of right or wrong. For me, the lack of overt politics and the psychological focus on the characters' lives in the midst of all this chaos makes this a gripping watch. It's a thought-provoking film about reconciliation and the price of peace. At number 8, we've got Deadpool and Wolverine, the third installment in the Deadpool series. Now, officially under the Marvel Studios banner. Now, this film was the MCU injection of actual fun that I needed in 2024, especially after the underwhelming superhero flicks like the Marvels, Madam Web, and even the much anticipated Joker Folie à Deux. Now, what makes Deadpool and Wolverine so great in my opinion is how it balances nostalgia with humor, offering a team up between Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool and Hugh Jackman's legendary Wolverine. It's filled with hilarious moments and sharp commentary. Now, the chemistry between Reynolds and Jackman is electric, bringing out the best in both of these characters, with Deadpool's irreverent humor, Wolverine's gruff demeanor, playing off each other perfectly. But it's not just the laughs that make this film shine, to be honest. Deadpool and Wolverine is an exploration of the messy, complicated relationship between two of Marvel's most iconic anti-heroes. Now, the story, while action-packed, delves into the themes of redemption, identity, and legacy. The action scenes, of course, were top tier, but it's the quieter moments that really resonate, especially when the film takes time to reflect on the toll their past decisions have taken on both of these men. Plus, the iconic Honda Odyssey scene alone is worth the watch. It's truly a highlight of the movie, believe me. It's the perfect balance of nostalgia, humor, and heartfelt moments. Before we continue, if you're enjoying this video so far, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. You can also hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my future videos. Next up at number 7 is Anora. The film is directed by Sean Baker, and it's a film that tells the story of a girl named Anora, a sex worker, who marries the son of a Russian oligarch, thrusting her into a life of wealth, scrutiny, and unexpected consequences. I would say think of this film as a gritty subversion of Pretty Woman, where the fairy tale romance is kind of flipped on its head. Now, Anora stands out for its incredible emotional depth and its exploration of love, identity, and the price of chasing a fairy tale. The film offers a fascinating look at the complexities of navigating ambition and vulnerability at the same time, making Anora's journey one of both personal growth and inevitable loss. Now, Sean Baker's ability to shift between humor and drama is quite masterful. He strikes a delicate balance, never losing sight of the emotional weight behind the story, while still allowing for moments of lightheartedness and hope. Mikey Madison delivers an unforgettable performance as Anora, capturing the character's internal conflict with subtlety and grace. What truly makes Anora shine, for me, is its honest portrayal of love and ambition, showing that sometimes the fairy tale we envision is nothing like the reality we end up with. The film's exploration of identity, especially the way Anora navigates her changing life and relationships, is what makes it a deeply thought-provoking and relevant piece of cinema. Now, at number 6, we have Challengers, directed by Luca Guadagnino. This film follows Tashi, a tennis player turned coach, as she tries to turn her husband, Art, into a Grand Slam champion. But things kind of get complicated when Art has to face his past at a lower tier tournament. Now, this movie is a masterclass in blending sexual tension, envy, and competition. Zendaya's performance is absolutely mesmerizing. I mean, I was drawn in by her performance, and the themes of pride and loss are explored in such an intense way that you can't help but be captivated by every single moment. Challengers is a sports drama that isn't really about sports. It throws you into a world of intense rivalry, ambition, and love, and takes you through the story of a pair of underdogs facing the pressure of high stakes and even higher expectations, who somehow end up on opposite sides of a very twisted love triangle. The pacing and character development are completely outstanding. The deep emotional stakes that are there will have you rooting for the characters, even if you're not into sports. Another thing that really enhances the experience of Challengers is its music. The score, the soundtrack isn't just a background element, it's a crucial part of the storytelling. The music beautifully complements the emotional undercurrent of the film. From tense rhythmic beats that underscore the competitive nature of the tennis matches, to softer, more intimate moments that reflect the complex relationships between the characters. The score perfectly matches the emotional highs and lows of the story. In my opinion, Challenger stands out because it's a story about fighting personal demons as much as it's about athleticism and sports. At number 5, we have Inside Out 2. Now, the much anticipated sequel to Pixar's beloved Inside Out brings us back to Riley's mind. Now she's a teenager and she's navigating the chaotic and confusing world of puberty. Pixar hits it out of the park again with humor, heart, and an exploration of emotions that everyone can relate to, whether you're young, whether you're old, whatever. I mean, we've all been there. We all remember the original film's deep dive into how our emotions shape our experiences, and this sequel takes the concept even further by exploring the emotional complexities that arise as we grow older. Now, what truly sets Inside Out 2 apart for me is its deeper meditation on legacy. Parents, your kids. And that realization is gonna hit you hard. I mean, I know it's gonna hit me really hard. Anyway, as Riley grapples with changes in her emotional landscape, we also see her parents struggling with the same inevitable process. Pixar's ability to combine whimsy and profound emotional depth is honestly second to none, and this film is no exception. The playful antics of Riley's emotions are still there, but there's a subtle, heartbreaking undercurrent about growing up, about letting go, and about how we change over time as human beings. As a sequel to the groundbreaking original, Inside Out 2 dives deeper into the emotions of a growing child, expanding the universe of Riley's mind to introduce new emotions as she matures. Now, it's honestly rare for sequels to live up to their predecessors, but this one does it with a lot of grace. Coming in at number 4, we have The Wild Robot. Now, this movie is based on Peter Brown's book series, and this particular animated film tells the story of Rosom 7134, a robot who awakens in the wilderness with no memory of her purpose and is stranded on an island. As the story progresses, Roz becomes the unlikely guardian of a young goose orphan, young gosling, whatever, learning about survival, nature, and the meaning of life itself along the way. This film is a perfect mix of playful animation and deep existential themes about life, love, and what it means to care for another. The film has an excellent voice cast, including Lupita Nyong'o. The performances are heartfelt and bring the character of Rose to life in a way that's both endearing and thought-provoking. The animation is stunning, with breathtaking landscapes and a soft, warm color palette that invites you into the world of Rose and the creatures she encounters. But what truly elevates the wild robot is its exploration of humanity and nature through the lens of an artificial being, a robot. As Rod struggles with questions of purpose, memory, and connection, the film becomes a meditation on the things that truly define us: our relationships, our choices, and the care we give to others. This movie is an enchanting yet introspective story of survival, and it's one that resonates deeply with audiences of all ages. I mean, I watched this movie with my wife and my kids, and every single person felt it. The quiet moments of reflection and the subtle philosophical undertones about AI, nature, and humanity just left a lingering sense of wonder and reflection long after the credits rolled. At number 3, we have Conclave. I watched this one twice, which speaks volumes about how captivating it is. A suspense-filled drama set in the Vatican, Conclave delves into the intense political and spiritual drama that unfolds during the election of a new pope. I've seen a lot of movies about picking popes. This movie actually does an exceptional job of balancing high-stakes tension with deeply personal and intimate moments. And the subtle performances from the cast really drive this narrative home. The intricate plotting keeps you on the edge of your seat as various global Catholic leaders, each with their own agenda, vie and struggle for power. What makes Conclave stand out, however, is how it delves into the moral dilemmas. I mean, leaders who hold immense power, yet they are forced to confront their own vulnerabilities and moral compromises. The secrecy, the political maneuvering are fascinating, but it's the ethical conflict that really elevates the story. The tension in Conclave is quite palpable, and as alliances shift and secrets unravel, the show builds to a very riveting climax. The dialogue is sharp, the stakes are high, and the final twist delivers a satisfying, if extremely unusual, conclusion. This film is a masterclass in political tension. It's gripping, it's smart, and it's endlessly rewatchable. It's the kind of film where you catch something new with every viewing. It makes it a compelling watch for anyone who enjoys intricate, high-stakes drama with an intellectual edge. Coming in at number 2, we have The Brutalist. Now, this 2024 epic explores the life of architect Laszlo Toth and his wife Erzsébet, who escaped post-war Europe for a fresh start in America, only to encounter moral compromises and existential challenges. The Brutalist is a sweeping, symphonic exploration of art, privilege, and sacrifice. The film isn't just about architecture. It's about the personal and ethical costs that come with ambition, success, and the weight of one's own creation. The film uses every frame to convey the grandeur of both the architecture and the personal toll that it takes on its characters. The performances, particularly from the leads, are commanding. Each actor perfectly captures the internal conflict and moral dilemmas faced by their characters. The film's haunting score sort of drives these themes beautifully. The Brutalist is bold, it's thought-provoking, and it forces you to grapple with big questions about things like art, about ethics, and about legacy. The pacing is kind of really slow, but it's deliberate. It's that very pacing that sort of gives the film its power. allowing you to sit with each of the weighty questions that it presents. This is an unforgettable cinematic experience where every scene feels deliberate and every choice weighs heavily on the characters' futures. Finally, at number 1, Dune Part 2. I watched this film multiple times. It was that good. Denis Villeneuve's follow-up to Dune continues Paul Atreides' journey as he joins the Fremen to seek revenge for his family. The scale of this film is truly staggering. Every single detail, from the world building to the performances, is meticulously crafted. Timothée Chalamet's portrayal of Paul is honestly a masterclass in acting. It captures the character's internal struggle and complex evolution as he steps into a leadership role that he doesn't want and he doesn't understand. Now, what makes Dune Part 2 so special is how Villeneuve weaves themes of destiny, power, sacrifice throughout the entire narrative. It's not just a sci-fi epic with stunning visuals. It's a deeply human story about the choices we make, the legacies we leave behind, and the struggles we face when trying to navigate a fate that we cannot avoid. Now, the music composed by the legendary Hans Zimmer continues to elevate this world with its grand haunting score, perfectly complementing the sweeping visuals and the intensity of the story. If there's one film for me that defines great storytelling in 2024, it's Dune Part 2. The scale is epic, but beneath it all, it's a love story, a tale of power, loss, and a lot of emotional depth, combined with spectacular world building. It makes it one of the most immersive and memorable films of the year. As I said earlier, this is the only movie I watched over and over again. I looked for behind the scenes, I looked for interviews, I looked for everything that I could find concerning this movie because of its perfect balance between spectacle and emotion. The funny thing is, every time I rewatch this movie, I discover something new, something that adds layers to this already complex narrative. It's a masterpiece, and it will undoubtedly be remembered as one of the greatest sci-fi films ever made. 2024 brought us some truly iconic, incredible gems hidden in a massive ocean of just okay films. And these top 9 movies are the ones that really stood out for me for their exceptional storytelling, whether it was intense action, emotional depth, or mind-blowing visuals. Each of these films delivered something special and left a lasting impact on me. If you haven't seen any of these yet, I highly recommend checking them out. They're definitely worth the watch. I have a few honorable mentions that I thought were fantastic, but didn't quite make it into my top 9. Emile Perez, My Old Ass, The Holdovers, Blitz, and Juror Number 2. There are also a number of films I planned to see last year, but just didn't work out. Once I've had a chance to see them, I'll definitely update you on my thoughts. Now, those films are A Complete Unknown, Nosferatu, A Real Pain, The Seed of the Sacred Fig, Sing Sing, The Substance, The Outrun, Heretic, Strange Darling, and a remake of one of my all-time favorite stories, The Count of Monte Cristo. So keep an eye out for that update real soon. What were your top films of 2024? What did you think of my list? Which ones have you seen? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts and get a conversation going. Watch out for my next video where I discuss my top 9 TV series of 2024. Catch you later.